As promised, Matt Melzak stays with us to talk about the Toledo Walleye, who looked really good, sweeping Indianapolis, the Fuel, 2 games in Indy, and now they're sitting at home waiting.
Yeah, playing the waiting game. Who are they going to see? Cincinnati had an opportunity to move on Sunday, didn't get it done. Fort Wayne stays alive, so now got to wait until Tuesday. Cincinnati
At
wins,
the
then we know.
Yep.
If not, well, we got to wait till Wednesday to find out. It's pretty crazy when you get into that, and the fact that, okay, if Cincinnati wins, Toledo has to go down there to start the series. If Fort Wayne wins, they're going to start at home. So, it just makes for some fun thought processes when you get to this time of the year.
So a couple of variables as Dan Watson and the team sit back and watch. From your perspective, would you rather see the Cyclones or the Comets?
Oh, that's a great question. I think overall, when you looked at the regular season, it was pretty even against both teams. So I think you could flip a coin on it, Mark. To be honest with you, who would you rather see? I don't think it matters so much at this point. Although I would say personally, just watching the two teams this year, I think Cincinnati's goaltending is better than Fort Wayne's, and that might be a reason why Cincinnati's up in this series. Probably a good part of it. So maybe that would be the one thing that if I was to lean one way or the other, it just feels like a little bit easier path with Fort Wayne, but we all know Toledo and Fort Wayne is never an easy path no matter what.
Walleye, the only team to sweep their first round series in the ECHL Kelly Cup playoffs. Who stood out the most to you in that sweep?
Ooh, another great question, Mark. I think when you look at the way that series played out, it's easy to go to, it's Brandon Hawkins, he did great, or those guys that really stand out all the time for you. But I thought when you really broke it down, a guy like Sam Craggs came up so huge in the series, especially when we turned to Indy. His goal to give the Toledo Walleye the lead in Game 3, and then setting up the short-handed goal later. They turned around, scored again in Game 4. A guy like that coming through for you on the depth side of things, you need those guys as you go through a long playoff run. Your depth has to show up, because when you get further along, you're playing great teams too, who have great lines and great players, and then they start matching up, and now all of a sudden you need your depth guys to come through and be better than theirs, so that when your quote-unquote third line, or when your extra forwards are in the game, or your back end of the D guys, when they get out there, they perform better than the other group. Now you got a chance to win.
All right, thank you very much, Matt Melzak. Of course, as we sit around and wait to see who the Walleye play next, but rest assured, whoever they play, whenever they play, whether it's in Toledo, in Cincinnati, or Fort Wayne, those games are live right here on BCSN. Matt, thank you so much.
You bet, Mark.